Now is the time! The FIFA 18 video that we've been waiting for. This is the very end of the first season as Port Vale. And, well, let's just look at how it went. We'll start right here with the league table. We finished there in 5th. A couple of points behind Cambridge. It went pretty well. We had a spell of good and then slight hiccups towards the end, which prevented us from finishing in an automatic promotion place. So we went into the playoffs. How did that go? Well, we played Wickham, just below us in 6th, but we had an 8-point lead over them, which makes it look like we're better than them. On the away leg first, we won 2-0. Goals from Gunning and Pope. And then the second match back at home, that was when Worrell scored, I think, and then Flynn followed up with 2, 3-0 at home, 5-0 on aggregate. Pretty solid. Cambridge pulled back an away defeat to Coventry to advance on penalties. So we played them in the final. We played them in the final match of the season, beating them 1-0, which prevented them from, well, I suppose it didn't prevent them, but it prevented them from being even on points with Luton there. How did that match go? Well, we started brightly. Dan Turner volleyed in an early goal, but 12 minutes in. And then shortly after, Cambridge equalized. So a bright start cancelled out. And then it was very much back and forth, give and take throughout the rest of the match. About 78 minutes in, Cambridge got another goal, and it looked pretty scary. But then, again, 5 minutes later, we followed suit of Cambridge and equalized through who again? Dan Turner, heading in at the back post after a Ryan Flynn cross. And then we went to extra time. It's been a few days since I played this game, so I don't remember everything. There was one amazing incident. Montano came off the bench and was blazing down the left when he was caught from behind when going clear on goal. And that was our chance to score, but the whistle never happened and no cards were issued. Play wasn't even stopped. That was our chance to get it. Nothing happened in extra time. We went to penalties. They used the ABBA setup for penalties. We scored first. Cambridge got their next 2. And then, I can't remember who was it that kicked, but it was saved. So, one of ours was saved. Then ours was scored, so that put us 2 each with them had an extra kick. They converted it. Eftimov got a touch, came off his legs, but bounced underneath him and went in. Another goal for us. Another 2 goals for them. We're sitting at 4-3 with our final kick. Ryan Flynn steps up. No one else you would want at the spot considering how he'd played recently. He steps up and blazes it wide of the target. So we lost on penalties. Cambridge didn't even have to take their last one. Such a disappointment considering we played so well. We had more the possession, more the shots, but it's FIFA 18. Those statistics don't mean anything because the AI is so good at scoring their chances. They have a much higher conversion rate than any human player could. So, we will spend another season in League 2. So let's see how that's going to look. I'm going to head over here to the squad hub. We'll take a look at our positions first. We have 3 goalkeepers. Leighton and Eftimov were switching off for the last bit of the season. They both have their weaknesses and their strengths. They both had their amazing games and some not so amazing games. Hornby, young, not particularly talented. He will probably head out soon, maybe on loan, maybe just get rid of him and stop the wage suck. At right back, Gibbons has had a great season of development. He's looking good. Wilson's starting to taper off. He's hit 30, so these two will probably be fighting out for a position in the next season. Center back, Kay is dropping off. He's probably about ready for retirement. Joe Davis, not particularly great season, but he did all right when he was called upon. Tom Anderson is on loan, so he will be leaving us. That's going to be a big gap to fill, but I think we have some free transfers that are coming in that will fill that slot well. Gavin Gunning, good season. He will be one of the main men for us next year. Kel Knops is leaving us on a free to Odense Bold Club in Norway, I believe. It's a shame that he didn't start playing well until after that deal was signed. When we had a really good spell, probably about February, March, he played out of his skin, scoring goals. We had very few goals conceded during that period when Gavin Gunning was injured and Knops was filling in at centre back. Graham Kelly, good season for him. He's injured at the moment, or for quite a while. It's a 5 month. So we will need some left back coverage, but we have someone coming in that will do that. Tyler Denton, reasonable season, but he's on loan. He will be leaving us. Another injury for us. Taylor Watson is a new young player. He's marked as a center defensive mid or center back, but he's short. He's not particularly physically inclined, but he's got excellent ball control, shooting, passing. He's more of a playmaker, so he'll play in midfield, but not necessarily in a defensive role. De Freitas is leaving us for Lincoln City. This is one of the players that I need to give you all a tip. When you update player contracts, when they're on their last few months and you want to make sure they don't get picked up, do not sign them for 1 year, because it does not add a year. It says 1 year for this season. They've changed it so that when you update contracts, it's not adding the number of years to the contract. It is saying how many more seasons are they going to play for you. So if you pick one, it means they're playing this season and then they leave. So a couple of players are leaving Port Vale because of that change in computations in the game. So unfortunate, but we'll work on it. De Freitas has one of those. Reasonable season for him, but nothing special. David Worrell, a lot of goals, one of our main players. He was exceptional this season. He wore the captain's armband quite a bit as well. Stubbs on loan, but stepped up in a few important situations, grabbed a couple of goals. He was a good addition to the squad this year. Harness only played a few games, but of the 4 right mids that we had billed, he was the lowest rated and not particularly necessary signing for us. Figuera, his contract will be expiring and he is asking for a ton of money in wages and all that to re-sign, so we're going to let him go. We have Taylor Watson, who's a good replacement. Perhaps not, Figuera's a bit more defensively competent, but Taylor Watson will be massive once we give him a bit more training. His potential is hitting the low 90s, so we need to train him up and he will be phenomenal. Middleton, slow start to the season, but once we started playing him more regularly because of injuries and changing up the formation a little bit, he stepped in and did quite well. Ryan Flynn, excellent season for him. I wasn't considering renewing his contract. He was about to expire, but I tried to do it. He asked for a lot of money, but then he put in goal after goal in the late part of the season, set up several more. I'm like, we need this guy around. He is important to the team. So we gave him more money. Fortunately, less than he was initially asking for, but he'll stick around for another season or two. Michael Tong, he stepped up in a couple of important places, a couple of long-range goals. I suspect he will retire at the end of next year or whenever it is that his contract expires, but he is aging and his stats are showing that. Same goes for Danny Pugh, but he is moving to Morecambe at the end of the season in just a couple of weeks. He didn't feature much. He's one of the lower-rated midfielders and not particularly quick, but he did okay when he was called upon. Montano played way above his rating at some time. He's quite quick, excellent dribbler, and his crossing was probably second to none on the team. He was excellent on the left side of midfield. Johnny Goddard was pulled in as backup all across midfield. He mostly played as a left midfielder before we had Schulze to play on the left, and he was a little weak coming off the bench. He never impressed there, but when he was asked to start, he had some great games. He scored just 1 or 2 goals, but set up quite a few. He was excellent at getting down the line, holding up, and then whipping in crosses. Benjamin Olsen, one of our youth players that just asked to come up, even though his overall rating is not that high, so he's going to hang out for a bit, maybe go out on loan. Oliver Hendrickson also asked to come up, but he has good potential in the mid to upper 80s. He is really good on the ball. He's also fairly quick for a new youth player. He's the fastest of all the youth prospects we have. So we'll see how he does. He's only played once in that final in the playoffs against Cambridge. He came on to replace Dan Turner when he was getting a bit leggy. He did okay, but really didn't have many chances to shine. Speaking of which, Dan Turner, for being one of the lowest rated players that we started with, we trained him up a lot early in the season, and he has been instrumental up top. Once we tweaked the lineup, went back to a 4-4-2, he played next to Barnett and Pope, because those big target strikers need someone to run off him, and Dan Turner was excellent. I think he might have been our highest assist creator. He was great at threading the through balls to either the striker, putting in crosses, or the on-running midfielders. He was one of the unsung heroes of the season. Not too many goals, despite the 2 against Cambridge in the final. Not too many besides that, but he was really good. Excellent for a young guy. Tom Pope, he's another that is going to get hit with that contract glitch. I don't think I can renew it. It keeps telling me I can't renew it again because I updated his contract, but only for 1 year, so he's leaving at the end of the season. If I do get the opportunity to keep him around, I think I will. We are in need of target strikers. We have one more striker coming in on a free transfer, but he is a technical, quick finisher, not the target man that Pope and Barnett are. So we'll see if we can keep him around. Otherwise, we'll just let him go. Raquel Pike on loan, developed fairly well, but wasn't called on that much because we were playing with one striker for quite a while, the target man, so he really wasn't needed. He came off the bench a couple of times, but didn't really impress. Tyrone Barnett, injured late in the season for the important games. Maybe that would have been the game changer for us, but still, our top scorer, got a lot of important goals and overall played quite well, although he is aging and his stats are dropping, especially his speed, which is one of the important things about him. He's strong and quick, or at least was. Schulze, the future star that we bought with those EA FIFA points, whatever the hell you call them. He's got excellent technical ability. He needs to work on his physical. He's not that quick for a dribbler. But his long shooting and crossing are very good. We haven't yet experienced a long shot from this guy, but playing out on the left, he doesn't often get the opportunity to cut in and shoot. So maybe we'll stick him in the middle behind the strikers, and that will create some chances for him. And that is it. So we'll have a quick look over here and see how the team's going to look next year. All these guys down at the bottom, they're sticking around for a year. So Pike, Anderson, Harness, Stobbs, and Denton are loanees, and they will move out in just a month or so. Pope may stick around if we get the opportunity to offer him another contract, although it hasn't been letting me because I already did one this season. I got hit with that, 1 year contract renewal glitch. Or not necessarily glitch, but it's the way they do it. Pugh has been picked up on a free. Figuera is not worth the money that he's asking. He's asking for more than $6,000 a week. He's currently on 4, which makes him one of the highest paid players on the team, and he hasn't played that well. So I'm not really interested in keeping around, especially with the midfield reinforcements that we have coming from the Youth Academy, and there's one more on a free that should fill that slot. Nops got picked up on a free, same with the Freitas, and that's it. So we're not losing too many players. And we've got plenty of reinforcements in Freeze and the Youth Academy that should fill that. So there's only a couple of places I'm looking to strengthen in the new season. Perhaps a solid first-team goalkeeper, since both Leighton and Evtimov have their weaknesses. And perhaps a little more defensive coverage. So I think that just about covers everything we need to look at. Oh, the objectives. Of course, the objectives. So here we go, youth development. We got a midfielder in. Well done, boys. That was probably the most simple accomplishment we could ask for. Brand exposure. We made this one at the very end. I finally figured out what the 13 out of 23 matches means. The first number is how many you have accomplished the goal of 85% attendance, which is selling out. So we sold out 13 matches out of 23 home matches that we have played up to current point. Though let it be noted, 23 is all the league matches. It does not count cup matches. So if you're paying attention to that and planning out your season, cup matches do not count towards this objective. No continental success. Domestic, we fought for promotion. We did not succeed in the end, but fighting was the goal, and that we did. We fought hard. We did well enough in the FA Cup. We got to I think it was the round of 16 maybe. And then we lost to, I can't remember if it was Plymouth or someone else. And in the money, we kept the salary growth down, which is great. That's not too difficult to do, but man, that was a lot of money they were asking for. And by the time I'd redone all the contracts I wanted and paid for free transfers coming in next season, it cut into that a lot, although we had no income in this category and the transfer windows were out. There was just no way to get money in, and we were still like $500,000 short. So I'm like, whatever. If you're going to fail, may as well set you up for success next season. So what does next season bring? Well, we don't really know yet. We're in League 2 again, which is all we know. We've got a few free transfers coming in, but I'm going to keep those a surprise for the next video. I think I'll do the next video after the preseason tournament, and I've had a chance to maybe make another signing or two. I'll definitely be digging into the Youth Academy again, looking to bring some more players in there. With that, let's take a quick look at the last two players in the academy. Benjamin Johansson. He's another left midfielder. We may need him or not. He's quick off the mark, but his overall sprint speed isn't amazing, and he needs a lot of work in his technical skills. And then Alfie Davis. I can't believe he doesn't want out yet. He's rated 65. Not amazingly quick, but he's agile, and he is amazing on the ball. Look at that ball control, and his dribbling excellent. We're working on his shooting so he can be an out-and-out striker and, you know, get the goals. He's not particularly great in the air. We can work on that. I think his thing is going to be receive a difficult ball, control it well, and fire it in. First time, maybe second. And that's probably going to be his game. It really reminds me a lot of Isaac King from FIFA 17 series at Newport. Okay, I think that will be all for the end of this season. I thank you for watching. Please leave your comments down there in that comment spot, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There will be more FIFA coming in hopefully in the next week or so. I just need to finish out this one and then play through the preseason, so 3 to 5 matches I'll have to do, plus hopefully lots of transfer activity. I know you guys like that. The in and out of players and all that is the exciting part of the season, really. And I think that's all. Thank you for watching. I am Ranroth. Follow on Twitter at Ranroth Games. That's where other fun stuff happens beyond FIFA and other video games. And I will see you in the next video, FIFA or otherwise. Peace out, homies.